What's up? How are we? Welcome in. Week 15, Talk the Line. This is the Q&A edition. I'm fired up to be joined once again by Geoff, former NFL offensive lineman, and of course, Jason McIntyre, Fox Sports' very own gambling analyst. Guys, the Q&A edition is going to be really fun. If you've never joined this show before, I'll break it down real quick. We're going to have 60 minutes, and we're going to try to get to 60 sports betting questions from you. How you're going to do that is you can send in your questions on Twitter, use hashtag #TalkTheLine, tag Jason McIntyre, at Geoff Schwartz, or even myself, at Sara Perlman. If you don't like Twitter, totally get it. Facebook's the way to do it. Join Talk the Line Facebook group and send your questions in there. We're going to try to help you out and get you some dubs for Week 15 NFL slate. Guys, how we feeling?
Well, I know Jason had a great night, so I know he's feeling good. I'm good. I'm excited for this weekend. A lot of great matchups. Even though we don't have great games on paper, there are going to be some good matchups today.
I like Geoff wearing the green shirt for money. That's the universal money symbol, Geoff. Well done. Let's go get some.
J-Mac, like you said, I know you had a better night than Geoff and I, so I will start getting into the questions with you. And we're going to start. A lot of fan questions came in. We're going to try to get to 60. Question 1. Let's get to the point. Hit me with a couple winners, J-Mac. Start us off.
All right, Vincent, I really like the Seattle Seahawks. I cannot express it enough. Washington's defense, criminally overrated, okay? They faced 3 good quarterbacks. Baker Mayfield lost by double digits. Lamar Jackson lost by double digits. Kyler Murray, yes, lost by double digits. I'm telling you, before I came to the show this morning, I talked to my kids. I said, guys, Seattle is the play. Do you want to go to college? Let's put the college tuition on the Seattle Seahawks. What are we getting, 6? That is a winner. Folks, we're going against Dwayne Haskins, okay?
Yes.
Dwayne Haskins. Geoff, you want no part of Dwayne Haskins. I know you don't.
No, this is a great pick. And I got to be honest, I've seen a lot of people talk about Washington today, and I just don't get it. And we'll talk about this game more as we go along. So I'm with you here. I love this pick. I'm going with the Kansas City Chiefs. I was on them early in the week. What's interesting is Drew Brees announced as a starter. The line did not move at all. A lot of people are on Kansas City for a very specific reason. They're a good football team. And when presented with a game like this, we saw earlier in the year, the Baltimore Ravens, they come out and they smoke the team they're playing because guess what? The last 9 times the Chiefs have been a favorite of less than a touchdown. They've covered all those games, and they've won all those games, of course. Plus, Pat Mahomes is fantastic against top 5 defenses. The left tackle, Eric Fisher, is playing this week. Michael Thomas is out for the Saints. I think the Chiefs are just a better football team. They can score at will. I worry about the Saints without Michael Thomas and Brees off 11 fractured ribs. So my pancake pick of the week, Chiefs -3.
Love the pancake pick. I loved yours as well, J-Mac. I'm exactly with you, Geoff. We've talked about this game earlier in the week. I'm laying it with the Chiefs for all the reasons you just said. It's the sneaker fund for your girl. I'm saving up for a new pair of Louis. Let's move on. Question 2 coming in. Question 2 coming in from Chase C. Which underdog has the best chance to cover? Geoff, starting with you.
I don't know if Matt Stafford will finish the game, but he's at least going to start the game. And when you look at the Lions getting all the points they're getting in Tennessee over a touchdown, I believe it's either 9 or 8 or 10, depending on where you get it right now. But we look at the ability for them, just 9.5. So you get Lions plus 9.5. Tennessee's defense, guys, still 32nd in the NFL on third down. I think Stafford was able to keep this game within a touchdown. So I like the Lions here.
J-Mac.
A cheesy way out. They're a 1-point underdog, but give me the Patriots. Okay. I don't know why they're underdogs here. I think this should be pick. We got 50 minutes to kick off. I still think they could go off at pick 'em or maybe even favored. The Miami Dolphins, yes, they're 10-3 against the spread. They've paid out everybody all season. Gamblers love them, but this is a Miami team that has 2 big advantages every week: pass defense and special teams. The Patriots don't throw the football. Cam Newton is not dropping back and throwing it 30 times. He's not doing that. And on special teams, and Geoff Schwartz, you'll love this, the Patriots have ascended to number 1 in the league. Miami has fallen to number 3. They had a rough week against KC, giving up the punt return touchdown. So where's the advantage for Tua? And Sarah told us right before the show, Jakeem Grant out in the slot. Parker on the outside, out. Gesicki, top tight end, out. I don't know where the offense comes from. I love the Patriots here.
All right, Chase, we saw the board a little bit earlier. Quite a few dogs to choose from. I'll take the Bears +3. This line moved and the Bears favor money came in on them. It was 3.5. I like the Bears to win. And actually, Mitch Trubisky had a good game. I'm going to take him for going 2 in a row and picking apart this Vikings secondary. Question 3 coming in. Producer Conrad's going to bring this in here from Lewis R. Which line screams stay away for you? And we're going to actually bring in our very own producer Conrad to look at the latest line movement for week 15.
Hey, what's going on, guys? I know this is a game we really haven't talked about much this week with the uncertainty of Matt Stafford, but the Detroit and Tennessee line opened at 13.5 on Monday morning with obviously the news that Stafford might not play this week. If he's banged up, we obviously know how the offense works in Detroit. It all goes through Stafford. Now, that line was taken off the board throughout the week before coming back on Thursday with 11-point favorite being in the side of Tennessee. And the news came out early Saturday morning that Stafford was looking to suit up. He was going to get a couple of injections in his ribs. He's going to suit up, and the line came down to 9.5, which is where it stands now.
Geoff, who do you got?
I think for me, you stay away from the Rams and the Jets. The Rams are here by 17 points here. The Rams have Seattle the following week, and I really think this is a game where it's going to be like 24-7. The Jets are barely going to skirt by, I think, and cover this game. Maybe it's 24-10, but I just don't think the Rams have any incentive at all to run the score up, to really play very hard at the end of the game. If they're up big, just get to next week and play the Seahawks.
Yeah, I'm going to actually go with the game Sarah just mentioned, the Bears and Vikings. I'm just confused. Like, who is Mitchell Trubisky now? Last 12 trips to the red zone, 10 touchdowns. Like, where did that come from? But the Bears also have 3 defensive backs out. So that could be a problem against Thielen and Jefferson. I don't understand that Vikings team. Kendricks was out last week, but they played well against Tampa. Should have got the cover if not for Dan Bailey. Goodness gracious, he's bad. So I'm staying away from that, but I also like Conrad's game. I want no part of Tennessee, Detroit. I've got something interesting I'll save for later in the show on that one.
Well, J-Mac had a good day, so now I'm a little bothered he's going against me. But for this stay away line, it's the Colts Texans. J-Mac, save it. You're on a heater. It's you. You keep doing your thing. I'm staying away from the Colts Texans. I want nothing to do with this game for many reasons. The line now has the hook. We got 7.5. I hate betting against Deshaun Watson, but I also hate backing that Texans defense. So moving along, question 4. Jason, this one's just for you. From Nathan B, don't let Lamar get his swagger back. Does he run all over the Jags this weekend? And Fox Bet has a really good Lamar rushing yards prop. Right now it's set for 65.5 rushing yards. Jason, where do you go here? You like this prop?
I mean, I like the question, Sarah. Our Facebook group users are using the word swagger. That's pretty impressive. Okay, as for the prop, this is another game I don't have a great feel. Lamar should be able to run the ball, but just be careful against Jacksonville, okay? Gardner Minshew's back. We know he can generate offense. Go look at week 1 against the Colts. And Baltimore's coming off that Monday night game. They probably will come out flat. Jimmy Smith is out in the secondary. They're banged up everywhere. If Baltimore falls behind early, and that could be, I mean, Gardner Minshew could go down for the 7-0 lead, then Lamar's running ability kind of has to be scaled back. So I'm iffy on 65. It almost feels too good to be true. So I would probably lean under.
Okay, well, I hope Nathan then is not a Ravens fan with what you're saying, but I do tend to agree. Let's go to question 5 now. We're going to bring this one in from Gavin K. Seattle easily walks away out of Washington with a cover. Who says no? Now, Alex Smith is not playing. And, of course, we have our very own Dr. Matt Preventure, who was the head team physician for the Patriots for many years. He's going to give us the latest update on the quarterback that's not starting today for the Washington football team, Alex Smith.
Washington's quarterback Alex Smith left last week's game with a calf injury. Reports stated that Alex had hoped to be back on the field this week, but he still feels calf tightness. I would expect to see Alex Smith back on the field this week, and we are certainly hoping for a solid recovery after this calf strain, keeping in mind that this is the same leg in which Alex had 17 prior surgeries. Alex's productivity should actually be quite reasonable, but still down when looking at all calf strains and quarterbacks, about 12% down in passing yards as well as overall offense. But certainly given Alex's toughness and resiliency with this injury, it could be much less.
Well, Geoff, we just heard the injury report on Alex Smith. Now, Dwayne Haskins will get the start for the Washington football team. Geoff, who do you like here with Seattle, Washington to answer Gavin's question?
This was Jason's college tuition pick. And again, I'm not understanding why people are backing Washington here. What are you backing? You're basically backing that you hope their defense plays well enough to slow down Seattle, I guess, because offensively, if you watch Dwayne Haskins, guys, he is not good. He's not good in this offense. Maybe he needs to change the scenery, but I don't really understand it. You're just betting, I guess, a number here, hoping that Washington's defense keeps this game close, but I don't see it. I don't see how Washington scores. I think Seattle can do enough here to cover this game. So give me Seattle here -6. This early time slot, by the way, does not bother Seattle. They don't play any worse at the 10 a.m. Pacific kickoff. So I like the Seahawks here to cover this game. And I'm with Jason. I don't think it's relatively close.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. I love Seattle in this spot. That time zone situation seems to be a narrative I don't fall for. Question 6, let's move to you, J-Mac, for this one. Coming in from Dean S. My brain keeps telling me Atlanta's good. Should I take the points here against Tampa? Tampa favored just around, I think, 6.5 now. We're getting ready for kickoff.
All right, Dean. So let's say those words out loud. My brain keeps telling me Atlanta is good. Just say it out loud. Does it make any sense? Okay, not really. This is a Falcons team that's up and down. You know, they look great crushing the Raiders. And then last week, Matty Ice, 2 picks in the fourth quarter against the Falcons. It's just not a team you can ever trust defensively. And the eye test is what I love about the Bucs. And Geoff, we know this. We look at the stats and the eye test. The stats say Tampa's a top 5 team in the NFL. The eye test says, man, these guys just aren't that good. Brady looks washed, and the narrative's building. I'm going to trust the numbers here, and my numbers tell me that Tampa is the side. I would stay away from Atlanta.
One thing to consider here is red zone production. So Tampa Bay offensively is 31st in the red zone. Defensively, they're 29th in the red zone. So they don't finish drives well, and they don't keep people out of the end zone on the other side. So when you're looking at a game like this, I look at Tampa, whose defense is playing really well right now, 14 points per game over their last 6. And offensively, yes, they have periods where they're kind of but Atlanta allows a lot of explosive plays. And again, cannot keep teams out of the end zone. So I back Tampa here.
I back Tampa as well. That pass rush, I think, will have some time and ability to get to quarterback Matt Ryan. Moving on, a lot of questions to get to. You guys are flooding in. Question 7, let's bring it in. Arthur W., the Saints at +3 with Breeze. Easy money. Drew Brees, a ton of fractured ribs. He's now making his first start since week 10. Let's hear from Dr. P yet again and get the latest update on the Saints quarterback.
Drew Brees missed the last 4 games with about 11 cracked ribs and a punctured lung. When he starts the game, he'll likely be wearing a protective Kevlar shirt or ballistic padding to help dissipate the force across the ribs, but this can restrict his play, and he certainly has a lot of rib injuries to deal with. From my perspective, a quarterback coming back from this type of injury, we can expect his productivity to be down about 8 to 12% in overall passing yards. However, given that he has multiple ribs on both sides, he's only 5 weeks out from injury. These numbers will likely be even lower, and he could be down 20% or more in overall productivity.
Geoff, I got to go to you here because I know you love this game with me. The Saints getting 3 at home with Breeze. Let's answer Arthur's question. Who do you like here?
Well, I like the Chiefs, but I think Doc mentioned it. I'm not sure what Penn. He had 11 broken ribs. He's 41 or 42 years old. Now he's going to come into this game wearing a big Kevlar vest and a cumbersome thing he's wearing and just hope he doesn't get hit, throw the ball quickly. Like, I just think the Chiefs defensively, and look, they have not been really good either, even though they don't allow a lot of points. Kind of odd. Their numbers don't back up what we kind of see on the field. But they know that Brees is going to have to throw the ball quickly. He doesn't want to get hit. They're going to have to run the ball to keep the ball out of his hands and throw a lot of screens. Like, there's going to be no deep passing game. To me, it feels like the Chiefs know what they're getting, where the Saints defensively, yes, you know what you can get from the Chiefs, but there's so many things the Chiefs can do. So I think the Chiefs are going to win this game by a touchdown or more.
All right, let's go to question 8 here. This one's for you, J-Mac. It's coming in from Blake T. Bill Belichick against a rookie quarterback. How are the Patriots a dog here?
Yes. Boy, this guy, Blake, way to listen. And you watched this line, didn't really make a ton of sense to me. Belichick against rookie quarterbacks, 25-5. He hasn't lost to a rookie quarterback since Geno Smith. Yes, the Jets, Geno Smith in 2013. I mean, listen, he's going to throw some unique, exotic looks at Tua. And I don't know how the rookie quarterback is going to handle it. We saw Justin Herbert very skittish. I mean, I don't want to say he was seeing ghosts in the pocket, but Herbert was all over the place. You know, he just didn't know what was happening, and they got blanked. I can see this be a very low-scoring game. The under may hit 39.5. If you miss 41, you know, you obviously missed a better number, but this is trickling down. It's going to be a low-scoring game, and Belichick, you know, good luck going against him off a loss. Remember, 19-5. Against the spread off a double-digit loss for Bill Belichick.
Yeah, I have that teaser going in with the Fins +4.5, and I'm definitely a little nervous now hearing all these injuries and updates, and of course going against Bill Belichick. But producer Conrad, let's bring in question 9. I got a good one for you, Geoff. I got a little sneak peek at it. And Mitchell Trubisky, he's back. How many touchdowns does he sling on this Week Vikings secondary? Great question, Edward. Let's take a look at actually a prop that we have with Fox Bet. How many questions Mitch Trubisky will throw against this Vikings team. And right now, I believe it's set at 1.5 touchdown passes, Geoff.
Well, Trubisky has 6 starts this year and 13 touchdowns, so he has over 2 a game. Plus, the Vikings are 28th in the NFL. They allow at least 2 passing touchdowns per week on average. So I'd go the over here again. I don't feel great about putting money on Mr. Trubisky, and he's obviously playing well the last couple of weeks, but I would go over here. I would just sprinkle a little bit of pizza money on it, not very much, but that's the play for me.
All right, moving along here. We're getting into the 10th question now. We got to go a little quicker, guys. A lot of questions coming in from Grant T. Baker versus Freddie Kitchens. Do the Giants stand a chance? And a big thing here is going to be, of course, the cold weather. We need an update on that. Let's bring in our very own meteorologist, Allison, to get the latest in New York.
Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks visit the Washington football team on Sunday afternoon. Now, a system is moving through the region on Sunday and will bring a chance for snow showers in the morning and rain showers by kickoff. Temperatures during the game will be in the low 40s, but
all right, we got to get that weather one reset. I think we have Allison teeing up. But guys, I'll go to you, Jason, right here. Baker versus Freddie Kitchens. The Giants, a lot of points now.
I don't know about that. I did bet the Giants in the first half. I think there's a big edge here. Cleveland coming off the brutal Monday night loss. Short week, that's a divisional matchup loss. I expect them to come out flat. Now, listen, there is a risk betting on Colt McCoy. I joked a couple weeks back I wouldn't bet on Colt McCoy to pick up my mail while I was on vacation. I got inundated in our Facebook group. They just killed me for that. They were like, you're being mean, be nice, Jason. It's 2020. You don't want to unload on people. It's tough to back Colt McCoy. And the Giants' best defensive back, Bradbury, he is out. Listen, full game risk on the Giants, but I definitely like the first half New York Giants.
All right. I'm going to have to back the Browns here, but I understand a lot of smart money has come in on the New York Giants. Let's go to question 11. Producer Conrad, who do we have next coming in from Pat C? Do the Jets score? Well, let's see what the prop is for their team totals going up against a very good defense in the Los Angeles Rams. The total for the game is 44.5. Geoff, will the Jets get in the end zone?
Will they get in the end zone? I'm not sure. I think they might score at some point. I would definitely lean the under here. Under 8.5 points plus 210. Oh no. Jason, your poor Jets this weekend. Rams number 1 in the NFL. They allow 191 yards passing per game. It's going to be tough. I think the only way they would get over 8.5 is either a defensive score, which doesn't seem very likely, or just a late garbage time touchdown. I would not put any money on the Jets scoring points in this game.
Oh, it's a stay away. That's just a stay away game. That's a huge spread, and 8.5 for the total for the New York Jets is scary. I'm sorry for the Jets fans out there. Jason, I'm hearing that's you.
That's rough.
That's okay. You got a good draft pick coming your way. Moving along here. Question 12 coming in. Oscar M. Love this. Kyler Murray looks healthy again, but the Eagles have unleashed Hurts. Should I sprinkle on that Eagles money line?
I don't like that. I don't like that at all. When I watched Jalen Hurts last week, I noticed the New Orleans Saints in the first half were bum rushing their edge rushers. That opened up huge lanes for Jalen Hurts to run. Sarah, the Eagles had 302 yards in the first half, and then the Saints at halftime realized, wait, what are we doing? All this guy can do is beat us with his feet. So they just sat at the line of scrimmage. Geoff, as a lineman, you'll love this. The Saints didn't pass rush Hurts the air. He couldn't do it. So I can see Arizona learning from that and saying, test our cornerbacks. We have a top 10 pass defense. I know I'm sounding irrational about several of these games. Like I love Seattle. I love the Patriots. I love the Jets under. I really like Arizona a lot.
Yes. And because this question about Hurts, we have to also mention defensively, the Eagles are down a bunch of defensive backs. And we looked at Kyler Murray last week, played his best game in over a month. The offense felt more comfortable, more in a rhythm. And obviously Murray looked a lot healthier. So now you have an Eagles team has their backup quarterback playing in a second game, a road game now, get defense ready to play them. And now secondary really beat up. I loved Arizona from the beginning this week. I'm still in Arizona right now. I would not put money on Philly.
Guys, 40 minutes away from kickoff. If you're watching this now and you have questions, please use the hashtag TalkTheLine on Twitter. Tag us at Geoff Schwartz, at Jason McIntyre, or myself at Sara Perlman. or on Facebook, join the Talk the Line Facebook group, and we'll try to get to your questions leading up to the game starting up in 20 minutes, trying to make you some money here. J-Mac, I'm going to go to you here. Another question coming in. Colton B, which over stands out for this week?
So I kind of like the Detroit, Tennessee over. I want to take it to a movie, maybe take it to dinner, but I'm not ready to commit because as Geoff talked about earlier, this Stafford issue, man, I just don't know how long he's going to last. And my nightmare scenario is Tennessee, which can't pressure anybody. They hit Baker Mayfield once the entire game. If Stafford does get knocked out, can Chase Daniel get you to the window with an over? I don't know about that. No Golladay, no Swift. It just looks bleak, but Tennessee is an over team. My goodness, all they do is score points. So I lukewarm feelings about that one.
Geoff, you like an over?
Yeah, I think Tampa Bay and Atlanta's at 50 right now, and it feels like Tampa's going to score 49.5 even. So Tampa's going to score a lot of points, in my opinion. I can't back this Falcons team at all. I think the Falcons will score a little bit, but probably not enough. I think Tampa's in the 30s here. Just need a little bit of a contribution from Atlanta to get over.
Yeah, and I also love what J-Mac said. I mean, it's like auto over for the Tennessee Titans. It would have made you a ton of money if you took it for every game this season. All right, guys, getting ready already for question number 14. Let's see it. Chase Young may be Defensive Rookie of the Year, but Russ cooks this team without Alex Smith. Thoughts? That's from Leon K. Well, the weather is going to play a role in this game. We're going to get out to the weather at FedEx Field in Maryland. Let's take a look what meteorologist Alan has to say about this one.
Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks visit the Washington football team on Sunday afternoon. Now, a system is moving through the region on Sunday and will bring a chance for snow showers in the morning and rain showers by kickoff. Temperatures during the game will be in the low 40s, but it will feel a lot more like the 30s due to the wind chill. There also is a chance for some patchy fog, but we'll see if the Seahawks can take care of the depleted Washington football team before facing off with their division rivals, the Rams, next week.
All right. Thank you very much, Allison. Always great stuff. Chase Young certainly on a tear, averaging half a sack a game, but Russell Wilson lighting it up. J-Mac, what's going on in this game? I know you love Seattle. Tell me more.
You know, Sarah, I grew up in Northern Virginia. I see a lot of Washington questions. I know Seattle is Conrad's team, so maybe he's stacking the deck here with all these Seattle questions. I'll be brief, okay? Washington's leading the NFC East, but that's like saying you're the smartest Kardashian sister. There's just not a lot of competition there, okay? Don't be impressed by Washington. Get off this team, folks. Seattle's aside. And I'm telling you right now, remember last week I told you Buffalo plus 1,700 Super Bowl, maybe sprinkle a little bit. Geoff, you remember that, okay? Keep an eye on Seattle in the NFC as they get healthier. Just monitor this team, folks.
I have a rule to stay away from the NFC East, just in general. But Geoff, I'll hit you on this one.
Look, you should not be worried about Russell Wilson in Seattle playing in the rain, okay? Has anyone ever been to Seattle before? If it doesn't rain, it's a great day there. So that weather does not concern me, other than maybe the field gets a little sloppy. But the rain in Seattle and cold, they're used to playing all these games in that weather. The weather should not scare you off of Seattle. The one thing that should always scare you about weather is the wind. The wind is a bigger factor than the moisture at times. So the wind doesn't seem to be an issue here.
All right, another question coming in, guys. Keep them coming with the hashtag Talk the Line from Ace M. Is there any value plays in the Cowboys 49ers matchup? We know there's no Zeke. Not sure if it matters. J-Mac?
This is a tough read. The line's ticked up since Zeke was out. San Fran's now favored by 4. Again, let's just say this out loud. San Francisco favored by 4 on the road. I know Dallas' defense stinks. I get all that. Dallas can move the football. I mean, they were fortuitous last week. You like that vocabulary word, fortuitous? Getting all those turnovers again from Cincinnati. They started the game with 3 turnovers. I think Dallas could feel like a sneaky shootout. I would look at the over, if anything.
J-Mac also took time studying the dictionary before the game. He's throwing out words that we're not really sure exactly what they mean. But Geoff, let's move along and look at question number 16 coming in from Stan W. Does Deshaun Watson show up this weekend? I always say I hate to bet against him. Brandon Cooks is active. Yes, Kiki Kuti. His touchdown pass is set at 1.5 for today. Do you like that prop, Geoff?
This feels awfully low at only minus 133 here to take the over. Deshaun Watson will definitely be in the building, so he will show up. And I think that You look at 2 weeks ago against the Colts in Houston, he played really well. He had that team driving down in the low red zone to win that game before he fumbles. I think he gets over the 2 touchdown passes. That is their offense, right? They don't run the football very well. It's all about Deshaun Watson. We saw last weekend, he couldn't do very much. The offense didn't do very much. I think they played better this weekend against the Colts, but not enough to cover the game, but enough to get this prop here on the over.
All right, more questions coming in. Let's get to number 16 on the board here. Paul L. Where's the public at this weekend? And for that, of course, we got to bring back the great producer Conrad to find out which teams are seeing the most public money on Fox Bet right now.
Hey guys, according to Fox Bet, the teams that we're seeing that are seeing the most public money against the spread right now are the Steelers with 87% of the bets against the Bengals and 89% of the money actually. And then unfortunately for you guys, between Sarah and Geoff, the Chiefs are seeing 81% of the bets against the Saints. Not always great there, but the Browns are seeing 75% of the bets against the Giants. And then Tennessee is seeing 75% of the bets against the Lions.
J-Mac, out of curiosity, I'll just ask you this. Hearing that, you're a gambling analyst and a great one at that. Does that scare you off? Any of those?
Well, fortunately, I'm on the good side on all those. It sounded like, and I was distracted because Conrad started when he first was on the show with no sleeves, and now he's wearing a collared shirt. And I wonder, is he trying to level up? Like, what's going on here? I digress. I would be scared, guys, if you're on the Chiefs side. 89%, I believe he said. It's a high number for a road favorite. And there was a second one I've already forgotten because I was trying to make a Conrad joke. But yeah, listen, none of my bets that I love are in that group. And Geoff and I have seen the public just get their butts kicked the last few weeks. So here's to some underdogs hitting, which is where I'm at.
I'm going to hope not. That's all I got to say for Geoff and I's behalf with this Chiefs game. Let's get to question number 18. Conrad, what do we got? Caden B. Do the Lions have anyone suited up for them this weekend? This should be a 3-score game in Nashville. Love this question. And Dr. Preventer actually has a great update on Matt Stafford and how that'll affect his play leading into today.
Lions quarterback Matthew Stafford is suffering from a right thumb as well as a rib injury. He sat out practice earlier in the week and was limited in practice on Friday. All week, Matt was listed as questionable, but yesterday it was reported he was going to start. Matt will likely be playing with a chest flak jacket on to dissipate the force over his injured rib and chest area. The medical staff may also consider a rib or an intercostal nerve block injection to help decrease the rib pain. If Matt plays, we can expect his QBR to go down from 65.3 to 51.5 and fantasy points down from 16.8 to 8.9. In addition, the Lions just aren't as good without Matt, and we expect overall 12% less passing yards and 52 yards less overall offense if he doesn't play.
All right. Thank you very much. Great stuff as always from Dr. Preventer. Geoff, you've worked closely with quarterbacks and certainly seen injuries. I mean, he's playing, but a 3-score game coming from Caden, that sure seems like a lot. The line now, Tennessee laying 9.5.
A couple of things to consider here with an injured quarterback is how many times will they get hit in this game, right? We know the Titans do not rush the passer very well. So you have a beat up Matt Stafford who can sling the ball. He's shown throughout his career, he's played through a bunch of injuries. So you have a poor Titans pass rush, poor Titans on third down. Stafford can make enough plays here. I think this game is much closer than 3 scores. In fact, I would take the Lions at plus 9.5 here. I think they cover this game, and it's kind of a muddied up game, but keeps it close.
All right, let's bring in the next question coming in from Brian M. Saints defense is too good to let Mahomes and company shred them, right? Well, Patrick Mahomes has thrown for over 315 yards in his last 3 games, and his total for today against the Saints defense is 310 for the prop. The over juiced at minus 125, the under minus 105. Jason, do you like this prop?
Yeah, I was looking at the Saints historically this season, and they were an over team early, right? They were defensively. And right around the middle of the season, I think it was that Tampa game, the defense just showed up and has been showing up every week since. Now, Mahomes is a totally different beast than Matt Ryan. And I don't like laying under anything with Pat Mahomes and, being on the team of Jeff Schwartz's brother. I would not advocate betting under Pat Mahomes on anything. This is a fast track, get Hardman and Hill in space. Yeah. These guys can make things happen. I would not take the under here.
Pat Mahomes, by the way, has faced a top 5 scoring defense 8 times in his career. He's 8-0 and averages 334 yards per game in those. And Chiefs score at least 28 points in all those games as well. So I would lean to Pat Mahomes over here. You know, rushing the football is not what they do well. They love to pass the football. They use the pass as part of extension of the run game. Always remember that, right? Those little fly sweeps, those little shovel passes forward, those count as passing yards. So I would go over here.
It's just not fun betting against Patrick Mahomes. I don't want any part of that. Let's move along here. Good question coming in right now from Colin R. Do we trust Pittsburgh enough to lay double digits? That's a huge spread. J-Mac?
I do. And Conrad had mentioned them. They're a public side, but that's for a reason. If you guys saw Brandon Allen, the practice squad guy who was, capable the last few weeks, he's out. They're going to start Ryan Finley. Let me just remind everybody, you guys have been watching weekly. I see the Facebook group comments. Okay. I was on Joe Burrow and the Bengals against Washington, and Burrow moved the ball great in the first half. First possession, second half, knocked out. They bring in Ryan Finley. Guys, he had 25 yards in 21 plays against Washington. Pittsburgh's a great defense. I know they're down a couple guys. They're coming off 2 losses in a row. I feel bad for Ryan Finley. This is going to get ugly. I think the number hits. Remember, this is a Monday game. Okay, after today, I can see this hitting 14.5. I would not be shocked if it hit 15, 16. Ryan Finley is probably the worst quarterback in the NFL.
All right, let's move on. I happen to agree with you. I'll lay the 14 all day. Pittsburgh needs to run the ball, do it against, and get right against the Bengals. Yeah. All right, question 21, Riley T. Geoff, this is for you. Should Riley do a Florida teaser, take the Jags, the Fins, and the Bucs?
I would stay away from Jacksonville. I just think that could be a really tough matchup for them. I know you're getting 18.5 points here, but Baltimore is feeling themselves right now. They're playing some good football on offense. Lamar Jackson averaging 109 yards rushing the last 2 weeks. We know Jacksonville, one of the worst rushing defenses in the NFL as far as yards per game and yards per carry, 28th or so in the NFL. So I would say it's a lot of points. I get it. I almost take Baltimore down below a touchdown here. I feel more comfortable putting that in the teaser.
Yeah, I tend to agree. J-Mac, do you have any opinion on this, on the teaser for the Florida teams?
I'm kind of pot committed already to the Patriots, so I can't advocate that. And seeing these injuries that you talked about earlier to the Dolphins offense, I don't know who the starting running back is. They're just shuttling through guys. The receivers are injured. And again, I mentioned the special teams lack of advantage against the Patriots. So if you want to leave them out, I think the Jaguars could be live. And Geoff, you liked Jacksonville last week a little bit. Remember, you're off them with Minshew, the mustache. I think Jacksonville's going to be plucky today. I think they show up for at least a half.
Well, at least a half doesn't cover the
Yes.
teaser, though. It's a full game. So I just think that Baltimore's going to wear them down as the game goes on. We'll find out, obviously. Big emotion win for Baltimore. Same spot Cleveland's in today as well.
All right, next question coming in, and keep them coming. Use the hashtag #TalkTheLine. I am seeing them come in across Twitter. Tag any of us at Geoff Schwartz, at Jason McIntyre, or myself at Sara Perlman. Coming in from Clayton L. Bill B versus Tua. Does Tua stand a chance? And I want both of your answers on this because we're on different sides here, guys. Geoff, starting with you. Tua's passing yards prop is set at 230.5. Would you take the over or the under in this?
I would take the under here. That feels like a lot of yards. Remember, before they played the Chiefs, they were not very good on offense with Tua. They were scoring a lot on special teams, on defense, and just doing enough with Tua in a lot of these games. They were down 30-10 in that game, and he had to pass the ball to get back in it. Obviously, got very close to making a comeback there. I think this game, and Jason's mentioned it many times, the injuries on the Dolphins they're real, they're legit. It's gonna be a low-scoring game, like 13-10, I think, around there. Because even though the Dolphins have injuries on the offense, and Bill Belichick has played well against rookie quarterbacks, the Patriots are not going to move the ball either. So it's going to come down to special teams, which are both really good, and then just who makes the more plays. And we've seen so far that Tua against the Cardinals, against the Chiefs, he's made more of these plays in tight games than we've seen Cam do the last couple of weeks. So I lean Dolphins here. I would lean under here, but ever so slightly Dolphins in this game.
J-Mac,
one of the things I like to. Sorry, go ahead. I like to, scheme how I think the game is going to go. And we've seen the Patriots simply just run the football and throw screens. Belichick has total lack of trust right now in Cam Newton. Now, Edelman may play. I haven't seen an official word. If he's in, that could help things. But we know Miami's defense is soft against the run. I think they're something like 23rd in the league. So Belichick's not going to get creative here. Damian Harris is out. It's going to be Sony Michel, who I don't love, James White, who I do love. And they're going to run the football and try to just gash up and down the field against Miami. Yeah. And Miami, the familiarity between Belichick and Flores, there's so much knowledge here. Geoff, I'm 100% with you. This feels like, at best, 10-7, 13-10. There's a reason the under is getting smashed right now.
Yeah, I feel like the under is still the play, even though it's ticked down 2 points. Moving along here, the next question coming in to talk the line, gearing up for week 15 in the NFL from Brady J. I love this question. Should I stay away from the Jets-Rams? The answer is yes, but I'll let both of you touch on it very quickly. I have no further comment.
I just have one thing, Geoff. I'll be brief. If there is a slight chance for the Jets scoring, to laugh at the prop from earlier, the Rams currently 30th in punt return yards allowed, 30th in kick return yards allowed. They're not good on special teams. Yeah. If the Jets can break one and get in field goal range and maybe not miss the kick, they missed 3 last week, the Jets probably get on the board here. But I definitely hit the over at 44.5 this week. I'm actually surprised it's not going down. Remember, Geoff alluded to it earlier. Seahawks on deck next week. That game matters. I expect the Rams starters to be out in the fourth quarter. It's going to be just, bench mob out there, and I like the under.
I think, Jason, you mentioned this stat earlier, so correct me if I'm wrong, but I think all the games this year in SoFi Stadium, the new stadium in Los Angeles, have gone under this year, right? For whatever reason, points just aren't scoring that stadium. And again, I think the Rams are going to come out here, get a lead, and just shut it down the second half. They're going to get ready for Seattle. They're going to get their backup some playing time, enjoy the opportunity to get some young guys some work in the fourth quarter. I just think this game's like 24-7, right at that 17 number, and just take Sam Darnold under passing yards. He's not going to throw for a lot of yards.
Yeah, and Jeff's been really on with taking the unders, or totals rather, in passing yards for quarterbacks this season. I think he's seriously 9-1. I like the under as well there, Geoff. Another question, and a lot of good questions coming in. Coming from Reed N, will the Browns defense finally step up and shut down the New York Giants? And for that, there's a lot of questions on the Browns cornerback, Denzel Ward. We're going to bring in Dr. P to hear the latest on him.
Browns cornerback Denzel Ward returned to practice this week after missing 3 games with a calf injury. Although he was limited in practice on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, Denzel is still listed as questionable for today's game against the Giants. If we do see Denzel play, I would expect his productivity to be down at least 18% less snap percentage and overall playing time.
Well, these two teams do tend to play each other tough, and the matchup is right. The team total for the New York Giants today, we'll take a look at that. I believe is sitting at, the total is set for 44, but the team total for the New York Giants prop is set at, and we're going to gear that up in just a second for you because I know it ticked. But what do you guys think about the Browns? Will they cover the spread? Will they win? And how will their defense do with or without Denzel Ward?
I know Jason and I are on opposite sides here, and I got the Browns early in the week at -4. Obviously, it's climbed to 6.5, which is a big difference. Here's the deal about Colt McCoy. So he's not good. Jason mentioned earlier. But let's talk about one other place I think the Browns have the advantage, and that's their defensive line. We saw last weekend the Arizona Cardinals sacked Daniel Jones 8 times last weekend. Riddick himself had 5 sacks. So look at now, Myles Garrett, Olivier Vernon, Sheldon Richardson, all those guys in the Browns, they're going to have a field day. They're going to keep Colt McCoy locked up, shut down. Freddie Kitchens calling plays. Pass. So that's why I think the Browns win this game. I think Jason's right. They start slow, but finish strong.
So, we've seen the Browns and we beat them up on this show. I think Geoff called them the worst 9-3 team ever. And the Facebook group was on fire with outrage. Listen, this Browns defense is not good. In the last 3 games, 6.2 yards per play allowed to the Jags, 6.5 yards per play allowed to the Titans. Monday Night Football, the Ravens just went up and down the field. I know the Giants aren't a good offense, but let's not, market time, buy low, sell high. You want to buy the Giants coming off a terrible home loss against the Cardinals. They will not be that bad this week. Again, Colt McCoy, love you. Happy holidays to you and your family. Just please get me within the number in the first.
Yeah, he's laying it in the first half. I like the Browns full game, played it at 4.5. It certainly moved -6.5. It'll be a good game tonight. Let's move on. Getting question 25 coming in. Got to go quicker here, guys. Derrick K, Colts, definitely the better team, but should I take them with the hook? Don't forget, Colts now favored by 7.5 against the Texans. Geoff.
So that hook is that extra half point, right? So it goes from 7 to 7.5. And that's really tough because Deshaun Watson is really good. And I think in the fourth quarter, we've seen him now be one of the better passers in the NFL, number 1 in fourth quarter passing yards, number 2 in fourth quarter touchdown passes. So I would lean away from this game. I used the Colts earlier this week in a teaser. I took them down to 1.5. I feel like that's the better place to play the Colts. You go through 7 and go through 3, 2 key numbers, and stay away from that hook there at 7.5.
It's not a cardinal rule of mine, but divisional rematch, always take the points. And if I can get the hook here, remember that last meeting was very close between these two teams. You could make the case that Watson doesn't fumble, they score a touchdown and win that outright. You don't want to read too much into that. The Colts are the better side, no doubt about it. But the Houston Texans, I think they were rock bottom last week. Just depantsed by the Chicago Bears. I think there's a little bit of a comeback here in the Texans. And yeah, I'll take the hook.
Less than 20 minutes to get in the fan questions. You guys use the hashtag Talk the Line. We're trying to make you some money on week 15 NFL, this very good slate, tasty slate. I'm liking the games today. Let's get in another fan question coming up right now from producer Conrad. Coming in from Dana C. Does Miles Sanders run it back and go over 100 yards rushing again? Jason, I'll start with you here.
I think he had 82 of it on one play last week. He's been known to break these bombs. I mean, the guy's a burner. But I will say this. In the second half, he did not do much. He was mostly bottled up. And I don't think he's going over 100 yards here. I think 65.5. Like, as long as they're not falling behind big. You remember, they were ahead 17-0 last week. So you can run Miles Sanders multiple times. You can't do that if you're trailing. And Arizona's been off to some good starts this year. Cliff Kingsbury, some issues in the second half. But I'll lean under 65.5.
His big run last weekend caught the Saints in a pressure, so they ran away from the pressure, and that's why they were kind of out of gaps. And Kelsey, their center, the Eagles center, is fantastic. He did a great job of make it easier for Miles Sanders. But if you don't catch them in that pressure, he's not breaking an 80-yard touchdown run. I think that the Cardinals, Vance Joseph is their defensive coordinator. He's a great defensive coordinator. We've seen him this year employ blitzes and different things to screw with young quarterbacks. They know the game plan now, right? It's run Miles Sanders, run Jalen Hurts, keep the passing game kind of basic and vanilla. So when you know that as a defensive coordinator, you game plan for that. So I really like Miles Sanders here to have a rough game. Cardinals know he is what they want to do. I go under 65 yards here.
Yeah, and the under is clearly the favorite. It's juiced at minus 125 for the rushing yards, set at 65.5. So more money coming in on the under. All right, moving along. Let's see what question is coming in live from Evan M. Better bet, Houston money line or Falcons money line? J-Mac, I need both of your guys' answers actually here on this.
I mean, Evan, what are we doing here, dude? Really? Those are the options? You got an entire board, 14, 13 games, and that's what you're looking at? I mean, if you're forcing me to pick, I suppose I would take Houston on the money line, but not with any confidence at all. I would not take Sarah's money. If she gave me money and said, Jason, which one should I do? I would not do it.
She needs her shoe money, okay? I would go with Houston here. They have a better quarterback, right? I mean, we talked about this enough today, but Deshaun Watson 2 weeks ago drove this team against the Colts defense into the low red zone. The ball's about the 10-yard line. They were about to score a touchdown under 2 minutes and win this game in a game that no one thought they could win. I think that gives them confidence this weekend. Plus, they can't play any worse than last weekend. J.J. Watt called out his teammates for the lack of effort, lack of desire, lack of hustle. So if you're looking to back one of these two teams, it's definitely Houston. The Falcons, their season's done, right? They lost the Chargers last weekend. The Chargers. So give me the Texans here.
Not even a question. I mean, definitely not taking either. And J-Mac, thank you for not taking my money on these. Stay away, but I would lean Houston if I'm taking one on the money line. More live questions coming in. Let's see what's next from producer Conrad pushing that in. Aaron M. Which home dog loses by double digits? Geoff, I'll go to you first here.
We might need to see the board on this one.
I mean, a bunch of them are like, so in Cincinnati, I guess, right? The Washington football team, Atlanta. I mean, I feel like which one can we pick? I think the easiest one to pick is Cincinnati.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cincinnati, and that's probably my favorite double-digit loss of the week coming at us.
Yeah, I would agree. I could see Seattle blowing out Washington, guys.
Yeah.
I really could see that being like 27-6. Again, Dwayne Haskins. I watched him start against Cleveland. He had 5 turnovers. Browns have one of the worst defenses in the league. Haskins does turnovers. Like, that's what he does. Like, Seattle feels like safe bet.
My bank account surely hopes that Seattle wins by double digits. What's next here, guys? Let's see what question is coming in from Jared R. Rate his teaser. I'm going to give it to you guys. 1 to 10, rate this teaser. Tampa, -0.5. New England just needs to win. New England +7.5. Browns to win, -0.5 a point. 1 to 10, rate that teaser. Go, Geoff.
I'll give it a 7. The first two got perfect, right? You bring Tampa down to a pick 'em. You get New England +7.5 in a game. Jason and I and Sarah as well. We both agree, ugly game, right? You take the points in an ugly, close game. The Browns, I bet the Browns are -4. So I think there are better options here. That's why I'll give it a 7, because the Browns could come out flat today. I think there's better ways to get teams down. Cardinals at this number right here. So I'll give it a 7, Jason.
Yeah, I think that's a really good teaser, Jared. Good job. And the teasers, Geoff and I, we're going to hammer it home until we're blue in the face, getting through the 7 and the 3, the 2 most key numbers in the NFL. And you've basically done that. I like the teaser. I'll give it a 9.9.
Guys, well, I'll say coming up in less than 10 minutes, our 3 biggest takeaways, the things you have to know getting ready for this slate. So stick around for that. We're answering more live questions. Let's see what's coming up next year on Talk the Line. Gabriel S. Ryan Finley, he's in for a long day. Does he even make it to 200 yards passing? Geoff, you're laughing. Please tell me how many yards he throws for. His total set for 190.5.
Poor guy. Look, he's smiling in that picture. He has no idea what's coming for him Monday night. I don't think he gets here. Even in garbage time, the Steelers do not allow a lot of garbage time yards. I would say no here. This is a great game for Monday Night Football because for a lot of us, we've been watching a lot of football. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We go to bed early Monday night, guys. This is over at halftime. Get a good night of sleep in here. Bet this under. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I'm with Geoff. This feels like the night you take your family out to go look at Christmas lights after the first quarter. Like, it's going to be a bloodbath. He does not sniff 190 yards passing. I mean, you could take that to the bank, folks. He's not going to do anything. We saw Jake Luton, however you pronounce the guy's name, in Jacksonville. I mean, Pittsburgh put him in a body bag. Like, we haven't seen him since. Like, this is what the defense does. No shot here for Finley.
Yeah, we appreciate the question, but this needs no further review. Moving along here on Talk the Line Q&A edition. Ashton H. Who dat? Do the Saints win this game straight up? The line has certainly moved a little bit in their direction since Drew Brees has started. Moneyline +125, hosting the Chiefs. J-Mac, I know where you stand, but let's reiterate it. They're going to win this game or just cover?
You guys have me all twisted. Sarah and Geoff really like the Chiefs a lot here. We just heard the public is, I think Conrad said like 89%. It's Patrick Mahomes. Like, I'm with you. I don't like betting against him. I'm almost starting to wonder, though. Geoff, you had said this was 3, and then Drew Brees is announced, and it's still 3, maybe 2.5. So maybe the markets had already baked Brees in earlier in the week. I'm still shocked that he's even playing. We heard Dr. Pete, 11 fractured ribs. They have a game Friday, guys, on Christmas Day against the Vikings that's big in the NFC. This doesn't make sense to me that Brees is starting. To answer the question, no, I would not bet the Saints on the money line.
I think Brees is starting because the Packers have a tiebreaker right now, and Taysom Hill's not winning this game, and Drew Brees can win this game. I don't think they will, but that's the only option, right? Taysom Hill was not going to beat the Chiefs. We saw last weekend he did not play very well against an Eagles team that's just okay, and they're better on defense and offense, obviously. And so I think Sean Payton saw, look, we need to get Brees in this game against the Chiefs, at least get him work to get ready for next weekend's, you mentioned Christmas Day game, because they do not want to go to Green Bay in January and play the Packers on the road in the frigid temperatures in Green Bay. So they need Brees to play well this week to win this game. But I don't think they do. I think the Chiefs play one of their better games of the year. They've lost one time in their last, I believe it's now 22 games, including the playoffs. That was in a game that went 40-32 to the Raiders. So I think the Chiefs handle business here and beat the Saints.
I'll just say all the fans sending in the questions are on the money. These questions are unreal, and getting myself ready for kickoff coming up in just a few. Let's see what's next on the board. Producer Conrad hit me with the next one from Braxton P. Will Derrick Henry carry me to a fantasy football championship? this season. We'll get to that in just a second. I'd like to see his rush yards for today. Oh, Fox Bet has a beautiful one. Derrick Henry, 75 rushing yards and a touchdown, -138. I'll tell you right now, I will put the sneaker fund on this bet. Stamp it, put it. Your girl's getting new sneakers after this hits. J-Mac, where are you going?
I mean, this is, listen, I like the Fox Bet folks. You guys are great. What is 75 yards against the Lions? Like, for real? I mean,
it's free
I'm
money.
exasperated. I will take, let's college tuition that bad boy. Let's go. 75 and a tutty? Come on. And I learned tutty from producer Conrad. I'd never heard that in my life. 75 and a touchdown for Derrick Henry. Lock that up by halftime. Come on.
I do not live in a state that has Fox Bet. I might take a call right now and place a call somewhere so someone can put my pancake pick on this. We're going to, all three of these are going to be here.
Man.
This is ridiculous. 75 rushing yards against the Lions and a touchdown. He might get this in the first quarter of this game. I'm going to have to place his bet somewhere, but this is great. Guys, thank you, Fox Bet. I appreciate it. Guys, go play this right now and make yourself some money.
Yeah, Fox Bet's the obvious winner of this entire show right now. Also, favorite word is tutty for the record. Moving along, what's coming up next year for our questions on Talk the Line? Carlos W. bringing in a good one. Bears or Vikings? I can't decide. Is special teams the determining factor here? You know your girl's on the Bears +3. Geoff, who do you like in this one?
Well, do the Vikings, can they kick a field goal yet? Is that something we've determined? Like, have they replaced Dan Bailey? Are they going to even attempt field goals this weekend? I don't know. Jason, you're a special teams guy, man. This is right up your wheelhouse.
Sadly, I have not monitored the special teams rankings for these teams. But I will say this, you know that Zimmer has lost complete confidence in Dan Bailey.
Yes.
But the game plan's simple here. They held the ball for 39 minutes against Tampa, and they thought that they could ride Dalvin Cook. Didn't really come through. They held the ball in the last meeting with Chicago for 35 minutes. So I expect a lot of Dalvin Cook on the ground, and I don't expect a lot of field goal attempts for Dan Bailey, who, it's not a happy holiday for that guy.
Yeah, poor guy. That was tough. The total's a little bit low, set at 46.5. The line staying just around 3. I personally like the Bears, but could definitely make an argument for either team and the lower scoring affair. All right, what question do we have coming up next, guys? Let's take a look at another fan question from Max M. The Cowboys stink, but somehow only 3-point dogs. Can someone please explain that line's moved just a little bit after the Zeke news at points? Somebody explain why the Niners aren't a touchdown favorite. J-Mac.
Well, I lean Cowboys here, not convincingly. I do want to point out, like Geoff, sometimes we look at coaching matchups, and Kyle Shanahan against Mike Nolan, who somehow is still the Cowboys defensive coordinator, one of the bigger mismatches of the week. My issue here is Nick Mullins. Like, I like that guy a lot coming into the season as a backup quarterback, but he's turnover prone. We saw it against the Eagles on Sunday night where he got benched. We saw it last week. Pick 6, fumble, scoop and score for Washington. Like, I mean, if you trust Nick Mullins, go ahead. But I really think Dallas with that offense will stay live throughout the game, potential backdoor cover.
Dallas's defense has played better recently. I know we like to make fun of them. They're not good by any stretch, but they're better. And you mentioned Nick Mullins. There's some fascination with Nick Mullins' passing yards, but those passing yards do not translate to a lot of points, a lot of wins. And you get over the field goal here. I think Dallas is the play.
I tend to agree. Seems like a lot of points for both average teams. Let's look at the next question here. Not a true feel on that one. Another fan question coming in from Matt L. Give me one great long shot to win the Super Bowl. Geoff, go ahead.
So I go with the Rams here, and I think it makes a lot of sense when we look at their defense. Their defense is playing outstanding right now. One of the best in the NFL. Obviously, we know Aaron Donald and Ramsey, but they're doing a fantastic job. And offensively, guys, they're kind of getting it together. Their Patrick offensive line is playing really well. They're running the football. Goff looks like the best he's been since that Super Bowl run they had in 2018. And some good news. Andrew Whitworth, their left tackle now for many, many years, one of the best in the NFL, is making his way back off the injured reserve. Should be back in time for the playoff push. They have Seattle next weekend, who they have owned, by the way. They've won, I believe, 5 out of the last 6 times against Seattle. So I think the Rams here at plus 1,100 with that defense, it's a good bet.
Yeah, I like that a lot. I will lean to the Seattle Seahawks. A lot of Seahawks fans in the building here at Fox Sports, including a certain producer on this show. I think this team's starting to get it together. Since week 9, lead the NFL in sacks. I mean, I know they're not a long shot, Matt, sorry, but I do believe there's value. And again, I don't want to pat myself on the back too much. I might injure my shoulder, but I gave out Buffalo last week. I mean, they've looked good. They beat the Steelers, and they came out and this week, and Buffalo's looking very, very strong. I would stay away from an AFC team, Geoff, and you and Sarah will probably agree, just because I don't want to go up against Andy Reid and Pat Mahomes. I think you're better shots in the NFC, which appears, at least to me, wide open.
Well, I'm the silly one that took an AFC team. I kind of like the Titans if they're a long shot, if they can end up beating the Chiefs. It's a long shot, and this is more of a dark horse candidate. Their defense is certainly figuring it out. They're 28-1. You can make an argument there's value on a team that down the stretch will probably make the playoffs. A good game today, but Derrick Henry, he's unstoppable. And Ryan Tannehill with a few of his best receivers, Corey Davis and A.J. Brown, has been fun to watch. So that's my dark horse. But, guys, this is the part of the show people probably sat around all day waiting for, myself included. Let's get the best gambling knowledge out there. It's time for the 3 biggest takeaways for the day to bat week 15 and this good NFL slate. So, Geoff, I'm going to start with you. Tell us what your 3 biggest takeaways leading into today's games are.
I just think we're looking at a possible Super Bowl preview between the Chiefs and the Saints. I'm excited to watch. The only game, by the way, with 2 teams over 500, and there's a lot at stake here. I've talked a lot about this. I want to see the Chiefs finish a game, right? They've been up, being in a lot of games, just can't do it. I'm on the opposite side of Jason here. I think this is the time that the Patriots officially are done for the season. Cam Newton's time is done in New England. They're gone. They slay the beast. Dolphins beat the Patriots. Patriots out of the playoffs now for the first time since 2007. And today is not going to go smooth for every big favorite. Someone's gonna have a rough one. I can't tell you who it is. I think it's going to be the Titans because the Lions can score enough points, but it just feels all too easy with a lot of these big favorites today. Someone's going to struggle.
Okay. All right, J-Mac, give me your 3 biggest takeaways.
Yeah. Well, listen, you guys follow me on social media. You saw I was loaded up on Clemson yesterday. I went on Colin Cowherd's show, said it was my bet of the year. Trevor Lawrence is just is a marvel. If you're going in a lab to create a quarterback, you're coming out with Trevor Lawrence. And the Jets and Jaguars are basically having a tug of war. Who can get him? And the Jets need to get him. As a Jets fan for 3 decades here, they are going to get destroyed today by the Rams. But the Jags, I think they could be plucky. I'm like rooting for them. You know, I'm going to put on my Mark Brunell jersey. We're watching the Trevor Lawrence sweepstakes in the McIntyre household. Next up, does anyone want the NFC East? All 4 teams today, underdogs. And the line's going against them in all of the games. Seriously. This division's really poor. Somebody's going to host a playoff game and probably get destroyed by Russell Wilson. And finally, can the Chiefs finally cover a spread? I mean, folks, 5 straight games with no covers. Sarah and Geoff really like them. And listen, eventually Pat Mahomes and Andy Reid are going to put together a game plan that's going to squash someone. Could be today, but I'm monitoring that because at some point, and I think you guys would agree, like the Chiefs have to have a full 60-minute game that's impressive. I don't want to go into the playoffs thinking like, oh, they may not put it together.
Well, that will lead us right into my Week 15 cheat sheet. I'll start with the Chiefs. They're winning big on the road. I like this. You mentioned 0-5 ATS, their last 5 games, 10-0 in their last 10 road games, winning all by a field goal or more. Breeze is returning from an injury. No Michael Thomas. I'll take Patrick Mahomes and Tyreek Hill to burn them on this turf. I'll take Chiefs win big on the road today. Cardinals are getting to Hurts. That's my second one. They know what it's like to deal with a mobile quarterback. They see Kyler Murray in practice every single day. There's more tape on Jalen Hurts. There's some injuries with Darius Slay, of course, on the Eagles. That'll hurt their defense and keep them on the field too long. I think Hurts is going down. I like the Cardinals big today. Another one, the under's been the move. In the first few weeks, the overs were hot. 60% of the overs hit in the first 3 weeks of the NFL. Since then, the unders have hit 3 times more than the overs. Ride the unders, look at the totals. You'll see that in a lot of late season divisional matchups. Those are my 3. It's time for the 2-minute drill. We're going to fire some questions off, ones that we got in earlier. Let's start us off. Geoff, just for you. Joe B, will the Cowboys make the playoffs?
No.
Hell no.
What's coming up next here? Nick, who wins Offensive Rookie of the Year?
Yeah, Justin Herbert.
Yeah, I'm going to go Herbert as well.
All right, next, let's see what's coming in. Jake P, best under of the week, J-Mac.
I will go Jets Rams under 44.5.
You're right. I was going to say that. I agree.
Next, Sean M, better wide receiver, Devontae Adams or Tyreek Hill?
Why do we do this, guys? We do this every week. We got a lot of Packers fans, right? Every week they ask about Adams. Okay, Adams is the best one. You
Yeah.
happy Packers fans?
Better pure receiver Adams. I love Hill though.
All right, coming in, Josh B. How many sacks will Washington have today against Russell Wilson? Jason?
I'm going to go with 2.
I'll do prices right. I'll go 3.
All right, we'll come back to see who's closer after the game. Stacey T, what was your game day meal? Geoff, what'd you eat today?
Well, today I will eat after this, but I normally had an omelet and like half a bagel. I play on an empty stomach. Perform best on an empty stomach.
Okay.
All right, let's see what's coming in next. Zach K, what is your definition of a successful day gambling? Well, I just want to win, but J-Mac, what does that mean to you?
When the account is green as opposed to the other color, which is not good. I just want to win some money.
Geoff,
Yeah,
finish us off here. What's that?
Very simple. Win money.
Well, on with that. We're just trying to win you some money on this show. We got to a lot of questions today. Super fun. Guys, good luck on your bets. Geoff, for you and I, we need the Chiefs. They got to win this game.
Do it.
J-Mac, I'm rooting for you after a successful day yesterday. Guys, thank you for joining Talk the Line, the Week 15 Q&A edition. The show will be back on Monday at 12 p.m. right here with Carissa, Colin, and of course, J-Mac to look at those opening lines for Week 16. Good luck on your bets. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.